Master, destroyers! So, the Black Series Droideka is here, and it is huge! Just look at the size of this box. Just got Cad Bane box for the size comparison. So I don't think we've ever seen this sort of size box before in the Black Series. So this is one that's been on my list for some time. I didn't actually think they'd ever do it. A couple of years ago I even went and bought the Power of the Jedi, I think it was, version from 1999, 2000, something like that. But now we have this one, so I am excited to see what kind of advancements we've made in the last 23 years. Okay, this is the Droideka out of the box. No accessories, no force field, which I'm fine with. I don't think it would have looked good if it had come with the force field, and I probably wouldn't have used it anyway. But in terms of the Droideka itself, this thing is really just something. Just the amount of engineering in this. There's almost, dare I say, too much articulation. I had a bit of trouble trying to get it to stand how it's supposed to stand. There's too many moving parts, so you don't know if you're moving this part too much or that part. But you can kind of figure it out eventually. Going in for a closer look then, we've got a really nice reddish brown on the, I guess we call it the shell, on the ball bit. Butt check. I don't know if it's overly accurate, that colour. In my mind's eye, it's a sort of browner colour. I'll compare it to the Power of the Jedi in a minute, because I almost think that one's too brown, and I think the right mix is somewhere in the middle, but I might be way off. The rest of him is pretty much just this grey gunmetal plastic colour. No paint on those parts. Get a little bit, there's some like tubes there. I think they've got slightly, I think that's just coloured plastic. Still nice to have a little bit of contrast in there. I don't really know if the camera or the light's picking that up. We get on his eyes 3 little dots of red paint, but it does the job paint wise. When you get in this level of engineering, you know, I'm sort of expecting to get a little bit less paint, a little bit more just coloured plastic, so that's all good with me. When it comes to articulation, this has a ton. Like I said, probably a little too much sort of in the mid, particularly in this sort of area. There's a lot going on. I haven't quite worked it all out yet, but starting from the bottom, get a little bit of, what you call that, ankle pivot, I guess. You get a rotation there, a swivel there, and then a rotation there on his arms. I don't know if you call these arms, but you get a little hinge here, and then the whole thing hinges back here as well, and we got a nice little piston effect. I do something about a piston on toys. It just seems so over the top and unnecessary, but I absolutely love it. You get a slight sort of, what do you call that, shoulder joint up here. It doesn't hold that well. I think there's too much weight going on over here. I sort of had the same problem with the Power of the Jedi version, so maybe that's just inevitable. So I'm going to try not to play with these too much. In terms of the body then, you've got a swivel, I don't know if you can see it, right down at the bottom. There it is. And then there seems to be little gaps in there, where there's a little bit at the top there. This sort of rocks back and forth. So presumably all this articulation in here is so you can transform him into ball mode, which I shall show you in a minute, or I will try to show you. Oh, you've also got these little flaps. They move in and out. Quick comparison then with the aforementioned Power of the Jedi version. The Black Series one is clearly a lot shorter, which I like. The Power of the Jedi one always seemed a little overscaled, and I know it was never meant to go with 6-inch figures, or maybe it was, I don't know. But yeah, it was always a bit too big. The sort of the center mass of the Black Series one feels a lot more filled out. Just sells the illusion a lot better. I still can't decide about the color of the shell. Like I said, I think the right color might be somewhere in the middle. I'm not sure. These on the Power of the Jedi version are a bit of a nightmare. I actually had to do a little bit of a super glue trick to tighten the joints on those. So I much prefer the articulation on the new one. In fact, in general, it's a better figure. Is it 22 years better? I don't know. Possibly, yeah. But to be honest, yeah, I can't offer any improvements. I think it's really great. I've done a cracking job. I'm pretty pleased with it. Looking forward to putting it up on my shelf. So, with all that said, let's try and turn this guy into a little ball. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of dreading this part.
One eternity later.
And here he is in ball mode. I'm not gonna lie, I tried to do that on camera, but that was way too difficult. I had to look up pictures because there's no instructions. It doesn't come with instructions on how to turn it into a ball mode. So it was quite difficult, but once you figured it out, I'm really impressed with this. I didn't think it would go into a ball as well as this, but look at that. Does it roll? Let's try it. Kinda? No. But I'm kind of amazed that they managed to pull that off. Oh, I did figure out to find some more articulation whilst doing this. So this little head bit slides in and out. It is really quite a satisfying mechanism there. And you also get this little pivot here. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. So that you can bring its arms in for ball mode. Very cool. So that about does it for our little Droideka friend. What do you guys think? Did you pick this one up? Did you like it? Did you not? I don't know how you could not. I think it's such a, in terms of a swing, it's a huge swing, and they mostly pulled it off. I think there's very little I'd improve, if anything. So with all that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider liking and subscribing if you did. I know it's been a bit Star Wars Phantom Menace centric. In fact, it's been entirely Star Wars and Phantom Menace centric so far, just the way it goes sometimes. But lots of other things coming in. So keep a lookout. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.